Subscribe and join to help us pass a law that will give $1,000 a month to every American. This law will be paid for completely by billionaire industries who pay little to almost nothing in taxes with our current system. This law was the dream of Martin Luther King before he was murdered, and this law is currently supported by current presidential candidate Andrew Yang. This law is the key to ending violence, crime, poverty, economic inequality, high rates of unemployment, incarceration, and so much more. This law is the key to having a great future for all people and to help give true economic independence to every citizen. Please click the subscribe button below and tell everyone you can to subscribe and spread the word so that we can create a great future and leave a future for our children and for our community. Our goal is for Congress to pass UBI, which is Universal Basic Income, a law that will guarantees every American adult would have at least $1,000 a month plus their regular job or their regular income. This law will end poverty, crime, violence, income equality. This law is what we need to do to help create a great future. This is about government oppression, who oppresses everyone, and it's time to end it because minimum wage isn't enough. We must understand that the government elite is lying to everyone about everything. Food, health, laws, nature. They don't want us to know the truth, so they keep it so that they can keep controlling us. That's why so many people are so unhealthy right now. So many people are more unhealthier than ever before in history. But now is the time for the truth to come out. These laws are designed to benefit the rich and the wealthy only, and the government and the elite. These current laws are designed to take everything away from the population and give it to the rich and the corporate owners and the government elite. They are increasing the amount of poor people every day. They are increasing. Soon automatic machines will replace industrial jobs, and self-driving cars will replace truck driving jobs. Amazon will soon close down over 30% of retail stores. This new upcoming technological world will replace over 50% of the current workforce and will send millions of people without any jobs. Economic injustice is a product of racism. If we solve economic injustice, we solve the effects of racism that has played on our communities. This bill will solve economic injustice for all people. This law will quickly end gang violence. This law will end criminal activities. This is the only answer for hundreds of years of racial injustice that has not only affected African Americans, but racial injustice that has affected all Americans. Racism still exists today, and we must see how the effects of racism has affected America, and it is destroying the very fabric of our community. Since the death of Martin Luther King, we have become complacent and we have not participated in activism and standing up to the oppression that we have been facing. The image of the black man has had a negative perception into the minds of Americans, disenfranchising and discriminating against young black men, almost forcing them into the streets. We must stop, and we must come together to end the genocide of our people and leave a future for our children and for our black community. When black people were freed from slavery in 1880, we were given no resources, no lands, and we have been oppressed and discriminated ever since. The black church used to be a place of change, a revolution, a place where people can learn how to mobilize together and help the black community. But after Dr. King died, the black church, we stopped fighting for our rights. We stopped organizing activism. We have become complacent, and we have allowed white supremacy to teach us to worship a white Jesus and to not do anything about the oppression and racism that is destroying our communities. That is why churches are so silent about the issues that we need to address. Why is unemployment so high in predominantly African American communities? Why is racism being perpetrated throughout American society, teaching black people to feel inferior about themselves, allowing our tolerance of our inferiority to allow us to be okay with oppression and genocide of our people through racism, discrimination, increasing gaps in income equality. This is the cause of racism and violence in our communities. Income inequality is the cause of crime and violence in our communities. The black church has become silent on being a vehicle for change in our community. Since Dr. King died, the black church no longer participated in organized activism that will give us true economic equality and solve economic and social problems in our community. People, it's time to stand up all over America, and it's time to make a future for our children and for their children. There is nothing that the U.S. government can ever do to repay the descendants of enslaved Africans for what their ancestors have went through. This bill is the only logical answer for U.S.'s partaking of slavery. This is the only logical solution for reparations once and for all, giving us true equality, which is economic equality. African Americans do not realize what we face every day, the psychological effects of racism. They have created a negative image about us, and that is being perpetrated throughout TV, throughout everything. We are being blamed for society, but government is the real blame. We must stand together and see who our real enemy is, which is the government. We must see that they own the banks, they control the system, they control the television, they control the music, the media. They are creating a bad perception of us so they can control us. The artists, the actors, the musicians, the rappers, they're all supporting this system that is portraying a negative image of the people. That's why they're not doing anything to change the system. The artists, the athletes, the actors, they're all being supported by the system so they can portray a negative image of black people. The rappers and the artists, the actors, they're all selling out to a white audience. That was we understand. But it's not the white people's fault. We must understand this law is for everybody. This is going to solve all the problems that we are facing. The corporate owners have created a food and health system that is fast and convenient, but is creating an increasing amount of health problems and diseases and alignments. The chemicals, the additives, the preservatives, the GMOs they're putting into the processed foods is having a very negative effects on our health. The pharmaceuticals are putting holes into our bodies and increasing our health problems even more. This is a very vicious cycle of eating cheap, convenient foods and getting very sick, and then taking pharmaceuticals that all have very negative effects on our bodies. But black children are being disproportionately diagnosed with ADHD, and all the children in general are being diagnosed with harmful drugs like Adderall, Ritalin, and psychoactive meds that disrupt their brain function. And there are so many things that are having a bad effect on our health. And it's time for us to make a change. It's time for us to affect this law. It's time for us to vote for Andrew Yang. It's time for us to gather together. Please subscribe. Please click the subscribe button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And tell everyone you know to subscribe and spread the word so we can create a future for our people. We need to do this now because the government is controlling. The government is trying to take over, and we need to fight back. We need to spread the word as a people. We need to gather in the black churches. We need to spread the word in black churches. We need to spread the word in all churches and all people. We need to gather together. Please subscribe. Please tell everyone you know to subscribe. More videos be coming out. Please subscribe and vote for Andrew Yang. Thanks. Have a blessed day.